Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am making this as a second response to a video that my good friend James Wisdom has posted online regarding the Logan Paul. If you are not familiar, did not see my last video, this is about the YouTuber slash vlogger Logan Paul, who went to the suicide forest in Japan, and he stumbled upon somebody who had committed suicide, and he filmed it, and people feel this is very disrespectful. I am not actually here to discuss Logan Paul's actions. I am more here to discuss the actions described by Mr. Wisdom when he talked about the backlash that Reina Scully, who is Japanese-born or of Japanese descent. I'm not sure what if she was born here or not, but I believe she was born in Japan. But she is of Japanese descent, and she came in on how upset she was over this Logan Paul situation. Because, I mean, in Japan, the suicide culture is very, very different. In Japan, it is common, or was common at one time, for people to commit seppuku, which is, I believe it means honorable death, which is when you end your own life either to preserve family honor or for some other particular reason. I have bed hair, by the way. I mentioned that. I suffer from depression myself, so getting myself cleaned up really doesn't seem to make all that much sense at the moment, and I'm losing my hair, so I don't want to comb it too much. Any case, so Logan Paul went out there and he apologized, put out 2 apology videos from what I understand, and he asked his fans not to defend him. And Logan Paul fans went on Reina Scully's YouTube channel and were rather disrespectful and inappropriate, and they treated her rather badly, despite being asked not to. Now, of course, these people tend to be young and stupid. And when I say young and stupid, modern science has given us evidence to believe that the Miley Ination of the prefrontal cortex, that is the part of your brain right behind your forehead, the part of the brain that understands civil behavior, does not take place until your late 20s. So what Miley Ination is that it is a group of cells that support the axons of neurons. It's very technical, but think about it this way. An axon is kind of a cell phone, or no, a neuron is kind of a cell phone, and the axon is kind of the antenna to the cell phone, and a myelination cell is a booster for the cell phone. So what's happening is that the part of the brain of young men particularly that says, maybe don't do that, it's stupid, is not terribly firing at the moment until you get a little older. So Logan Paul would do stupid things and realize afterwards, gee, that's stupid, because his brain isn't finished developing. And the people that enjoy his kind of work are probably people who, likewise, do not have full myelination of the prefrontal cortex. So they're not, the part of their brain that tells them not to be stupid ain't working all that well, to be clear. And what they are exhibiting in terms of behavior is referred to as tribalism, which is, you know, back in the day, when we were a bunch of dirty cavemen who didn't wash our man bits, had spears, and wore the pelts of dead animals all day to keep warm. When we saw someone from another tribe, we tended to be aggressive because the person from that other tribe likely represented a danger to us. This is why Marvel and DC fans don't like each other. It's like, yeah, we're part of our tribe, you're part of your tribe, and It doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. We're going to take you down. We're going to be aggressive towards you. And yeah, back in the day when we were a bunch of savages, you know what used to happen? We used to raid other tribes and steal their women. And steal their food. And, kill their family and eat them. We used to do stuff like that. Human beings are not nice creatures. The human animal, and there is such a thing as the human animal, is a savage and disgusting thing. It is vile. And the whole of our lives, to be members of a civil society, we have that one part of our brain that is telling us, don't go over to your neighbor's house, kill him, and take his wife. These signals aren't really working too well when people are being aggressive towards Miss Scully, who is, of course, Japanese and probably deeply upset about the Logan Paul video. And that's one of those things we should it's a big part of American politics, because here in America, the greatest fear of all Americans is to be around people that don't agree with you. This is why we have Americans that are doing things like in the recent special election, there were a bunch of people that supported Roy Moore. Now, if you don't know who Roy Moore is an accused pedophile. And there are so many women accusing him of being a pedophile. He's almost certainly a pedophile. And folks are saying, well, it was legal in Alabama for him to get busy with a 14-year-old when he was 30. It's just gross. No, dude. He put his hands on a woman who told him to stop. So, yes, he is a pedophile and he abuses women. But people still backed this man, despite his disreputable behavior, because of tribalism. Because it's like, yeah, people came out and said he might be a pedophile, but at least he's not a Democrat, which is a liberal or progressive thinker in America. Excuse me. So there's that thing, is you have people going out there and they are functioning under the assumption that, this is my tribe, I want to protect my tribe, and they shouldn't. And when you have that armor of being online and protected from any kind of real assault, you tend to do stupider and stupider things. It's like, if you're in a group of people who all agree with you, and there's one person that disagrees, you're more likely to become hostile towards that person. It's just the group mentality. So yeah, I would caution anyone who is talking about defending Mr. Paul, think about what you're saying. You're defending a man that has asked you not to defend him. We really should look at this situation as unfortunate and try to move on. And I'm going to admit here, I didn't want to make a video about this originally because I felt that I was pandering and trying to grab part of a headline in order to get more views. And a certain amount of that is probably true for Reina Scully, that she's, well, I've got to talk about this because it's in the news here. And this is not to say that she's not deeply wounded by it, but, every one of us who's talking about this are probably talking about this at least a certain extent because we want popularity. I'm not going to say that didn't at least cross my mind when I made this and the other video. But, let's just try to understand that we all do stupid things. And when somebody calls us out for being stupid, the right response is to say, yeah, you're right, I'm being stupid, and not defend that stupid behavior. Otherwise, you wind up being kind of like the president of my country right now. And that's not good. It really isn't. Anyway, that's my opinion. And, if you have anything to add, The comment section is always there. I get very few comments. I'll probably read it. I'm Richard Leland Neal.